Go. I got that gnosis for days. I read too many books. I get too many looks. I am Hotep. I got that gnosis for days. I read too many books. I get too many looks. I am Hotep. Why you bothering with them? Why you still listening to men? Why you got no bank in your noses? Then how far down this path are you willing to go? I got that gnosis for days. I read too many books. I get too many looks. I am Hotep. I got that gnosis for days. I read too many books. I get too many looks. I am Hotep.
Night.
Now, rise up, my brothers, and walk the path of kings. Embrace the wisdom, let your spirit take wings. Yeah. Hotep, the way of balance and divine love, because of the truth, guided by the stars above. Hotep, we're rising high, like the pyramids in the sky. Hotep, we're shining bright, like the sun's golden light. Embracing our history, embracing our roots. Hotep, unity, love, and truth. Hotep, we're breaking free from the chains that bind. Hotep, enlightenment in our hearts we find. Embracing our power, embracing our worth. Hotep, revolution for rebirth. Well, I'm so needed for get reach for the goals. I achieve all of those. I still stand on my road, stay down 10 toes. Dollar signs up, upside down minds. How far down this path are you willing to go? I got that gnosis for days. I read too many books. I get too many looks. I am Hotep. I got that gnosis for days. I read too many books. I get too many looks. I am Hotep. Why you bothering with them? Why you still listening to men? Why you got no bank in your noses? Then how far down this path are you willing to go? I got that gnosis for days. I read too many books. I get too many looks. I am Hotep. I got that gnosis for days. I read too many books. I get too many looks. I am Hotep. Now, rise up, my brothers, and walk the path of kings. Embrace the wisdom, let your spirit take wings. Yeah. Hotep, the way of balance and divine love, because of the truth, guided by the stars above. Hotep, we're rising high, like the pyramids in the sky. Hotep, we're shining bright, like the sun's golden light. Embracing our history, embracing our roots. Hotep, unity, love, and truth. Hotep, we're breaking free from the chains that bind. Hotep, enlightenment in our hearts we find. Embracing our power, embracing our worth. Hotep, revolution for rebirth. Well, I'm so needed for get reach for the goals. I achieve all of those. I still stand on my road, stay down 10 toes. Dollar signs up, upside down minds. How far down this path are you willing to go? I got that gnosis for days. I read too many books. I get too many looks. I am Hotep. I got that gnosis for days. I read too many books. I get too many looks. you bothering with them? Why you still listening to men? Why you got no bank in your noses? Then how far down this path are you willing to go? I got that gnosis for days. I read too many books, I get too many looks. I am Hotep. I got that gnosis for days. I read too many books, I get too many looks. I am Hotep.
All right, all right, all right. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in, everyone. So I got a hold of Cannon. Y'all can hear me. Hit that one in the chat. I got a hold of Cannon Hotep earlier to make sure that he was all right, and this was the scene. Francis Scott Key Bridge. I know a couple people were hitting me up. They were like, "Jay, where's Cannon? Is he all right?" So the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed there in Baltimore, Maryland, right where Cannon sometimes drives across that bridge, or he's in that area. So he filmed this from his car on his way to work, and um, I think they said 7 people are still missing or unaccounted for. They were trying to find them. The bridge collapsed fairly quick when this boat that you see there, the Dali, I believe it is called the Dali ship. It had hit another. It had hit whatever they call a quarry or a quay or whatever that is in Belgium back in 2016, and then it hit the Francis Scott Key Bridge, which is almost a 2-mile bridge. Um, it hit that bridge, and the bridge kind of just buckled and collapsed, just like you saw in the Dark Knight Rises. And the entire bridge just came down when it hit that support beam there. The bridge, I believe, is coming out of Singapore and has ties to Greece, I believe, just and possibly India, I think. And it was on its way to, uh, I don't know. It's got a lot of containers on it. It was. I'm not sure which port it was headed to next, or if it had any stopovers or layovers. Like Kanan said, he didn't know. And, Kanan was saying that he didn't know what was in the containers as well. So this was.
Down to my voice, safe traveling mercies to and from their destinations, because we never know when it's our time. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. So Cannon saying a prayer over safe travels over everyone out there, their family and friends. And I called up Cannon this morning and I said, Cannon, you okay? Because we were seeing about this bridge, man. We'll make sure you and your family are safe. And so it was a disastrous date event. Francis Scott Key Bridge was built March 23rd, 1977, and it collapsed. I believe it was 20 was it 23rd, 22nd, somewhere in through there, and it collapsed on the 26th. So almost within the time frame of it being built to when it collapsed, which is 47 years. Um, 47. There's in numerics in the gematria field. You have agent 47. You have different things that have to do with government and how the power of government um, is allocated. In that Marvel movie, what was it, the Captain America in a Civil War? They said where would we hide our base? And they said at number 47. So even in a lot of films, they showcase that 47 is just something that means like it is a vehicle for transportation too. So that's what that numeric can also mean. But 47. Um, I'm gonna do a little bit of a video deep dive into that coming up pretty soon. Some other information that we talked about. Let's see if we get into it.
Chesapeake Bay.
Let's see before Cannon headed out.
Like I told y'all, that was the whole reason why Bibi Netanyahu allowed what happened that day to happen. The judge was almost done. Y'all seen pictures of the Euphrates? Y'all seen what it looked like yet? Euphrates, you could dag on there walk across it.
So we're coming up. If you see over here, I brought this up. Al Qaeda's institution, three threats facing the mosque in Ramadan. And so, uh, down recently, we've got on April, I'm just bringing up these dates so that everyone knows what's coming up. You got April 8th coming up, will be the solar eclipse, which may or may not be a part of this biblical prophecy. And then you'll have on April 22nd, we'll have Passover. And then on between April 26th and April 27th, we will have 20 between the 26th and the 27th is when we will have the announcement from the authorities, the Cohen and other groups in over there in Israel on whether or not. And anyway, this is what's supposed to happen at that time period. If whether or not we have the holy cow, which is the red heifer. Um, three red cows been sent from Texas over there to the Middle East, as I've been talking about um, long before these late jokers are to this information. CBS News and Yahoo with their constant nonsense. Some red cows from Texas have a central role in the war torn Holy Land. It's where we get the term holy cow from. The red heifer is biblical. When it reaches the 3.5 year threshold, the ashes can be used to purify the temple. The temple would have to be rebuilt over there in the Holy Land, and that will have a lot of impacts. We'll go back into this with the IOF attack, etc., taking place. So we've got a lot of events coming up in the its planned events coming up for between the solar eclipse, the Passover, and the announcement of whether or not they have a spotless red heifer. They've got the three holy cows ready. They'll be inspected by the Cohen. They will see if the cows are spotless. And let's go ahead and take a look at some of what this is. The paper prepared by Jerusalem Affairs specialist elaborated that the first threat lies in sustainability of the siege imposed for the past 6 months, with them attempting to turn it into a continuous blockade. It pointed out that there's a second threat that lies in the renewal of the Torah festivals, which the IOA uses as a platform for aggression against the mosque, in which will begin on March 21st, coinciding with the second week of Ramadan. So Ramadan going on right now, which is like it's basically like it's the Passover tradition of the Muslim. As for the third threat, according to the paper, is the provision of all prerequisites for imposing the ritual. Here we go. So right here, as for the third threat, according to the paper, it is the provision of all the prerequisites for imposing the ritual of purifying with the red heifer. Red heifer, we got the gematria open over here. We got the gematria over here. Manga means sultan. I'm going to get into that just for a little bit here too. We'll type in the red heifer here so you guys can see. The red heifer equaling 666. It is basically a scapegoat or a container of sins for the nation. And then once it's pure, it's a pure container that represents a sacrifice for the temple, being being under the sacrifice of this. And I do need to pull up that Beyonce Vogue photo real quick. Let's see if we can get to it. Beyonce red cover on Vogue. All right, so we're going to take a look at this one real quick here. And you can see the symbolism that they've got planned. The Beyonce, who is Meghan Markle's cousin. Many of these light brights that you see in Hollywood are actually relatives of one another. You can go check that out for yourself if you need to verify if you're one of the sources type. And even if you were one of the sources type, you'd say, well, that's just a coincidence and it doesn't really matter anyway, because that's what you always say. So here we have the black sun, the solar eclipse on the top with her head garment there, sitting upon the red horse, and she is in black. So we have the black sun symbolism coming up. This Vogue was July 2022, and from this day that this cover was released until April 26th or 27th will be 666 days. The white horse is what she wore when she's on the. Let's show you the white horse. in case you haven't seen it. White horse, Texas, was it Texas Hold'em, right? And I want to show you guys that for a second too. Not the where we at with this. Nothing explicit images. I was just trying to see. We have so much crazy stuff going on. This is a white horse imagery. Rider on the white horse, and she has the Texas Hold'em one. I know I saw that earlier. The main one for her album cover. So the four horsemen of apocalypse, I believe, is what it's trying to allude to or illusion of. Just some of the typical symbolism behind it, and any part of that to play at all. But here you can see her lyrics video. This is the official. Oh, there you can see the picture too. I guess in this part right here. Can we even see that part or no? I believe you could see part of it right there. There she is, the rider on the white horse. Um, and she's done her hair all Meghan Markle's cousin. All right. We'll go back over here to where it was. Where the heck was it though? We just got out of it. Official visualizer. No, we're looking for the lyrics video, right? Okay, there's the lyrics video, and I'm gonna keep on picking pause because it keeps turning back up the volume. All right, let me check on the chats real quick while we're getting that loaded up. Check on the chats. You want to come back to my channel for a stream? Much love, y'all. Hey, Ronan is in here. Good studying, huh? They've been searching for the red heifer for 2,000 years. What's up, Ronan? Listen to the song Black Hole Sun. Right. Black Hole Sun, and on the album cover, it does have the eclipse, and the Star Wars video has the eclipse as well when we're looking at that. Let me go back over here to Beyonce's cover real quick as we get into it. All right, so there's what looks like the black hole sun imagery, the eclipse imagery. We're having the eclipse on April the 8th. She's on the rider on the red horse. The four horsemen of the apocalypse. The horses are different colors. One of the horses is red. One of the horses is white. Oh shoot, they still got these ads going. I'm sorry about that. Take a look at what's happening. It's antennas and satellites, and they're shooting out energy out of them. 356. There, my son's asking where his mom is at because when he hears Fort Sill bombing, he thinks she pulled up. She's banging the car door. Yeah, but this is showcasing right here. This is showcasing like energy coming out of these. And what do they talk about? One of the technologies that we have is called DEW, or direct energy weapons, and that's just one of the technologies that between what they're talking about with Space Force and these other groups having this technology that they can beam these signals. When you're thinking about Project Blue Beam, the energy waves coming off of this dish in is the only thing that's in this video for Texas, the Texas Hold'em video. The only thing that it keeps on showing, this entire video, it just sticks with that beaming out. So whether it's programming or whether it's being beamed out, but you see it's in the red. Look, take a look where it's at though, with the beaming out taking place. All right, the red striping around with the cross around what looks like a church barn and is gated. So there could be some, there could be some predictive programming symbolism behind that, and no one's catching it. And I think that that's the entire reasoning, in my viewpoint. I believe that this is the entire reasoning behind why they are putting out this country music song by Beyonce. Being here in Oklahoma, this song is not well received by anyone. They don't particularly care for that here. I'm sure that there's a lot of Beyonce fans that are going to listen to her music no matter what she drops, and they're going to enjoy it, and good for them if that's what they want. But when Lil Nas X released that Old Town North, a lot of people were listening to that, even my grandmother. So that was a popular song. Hey, Kennan's in here. I was just dropping all the knowledge about all the different stuff, and we was playing some of your videos. So we're glad to see that you're well and safe. God bless you and your family, Cannon. So here is Beyonce, July 2022 to April 26, 27, when they might be announcing the red heifer. Here she is on the red horse. That will be 666 days between this cover and that event possibly taking place, because they will announce whether or not they got it. Let's get back into that article real quick. The third threat, according to the paper, now this is out of the This is out, I believe, out of the Palestinian Information Center, talking about the plans out of Jerusalem. Um, let's see where we at. All right. So the third threat, according to the paper, and the provision that all prerequisites for imposing the ritual of purification with the red heifer to increase the number of settlers, considering a sign of the arrival of the Redeemer. All right. So some people will say that Messiah is coming back. Other people will say that the third temple has to be built prior to or after the Messiah. It's different points of view on that. This ritual, according to Talmudic sources, is said to be scheduled for the second day of the Hebrew month, which corresponds to April 10, 2024, a day when I'm not sure what this is. I'm not sure what this is. Ed al-Fitr is expected to occur. Not really sure. I guess that's one of them. I'll have to investigate that. So my bet on that one. The paper titled Oscar Mena Will a Deluge Revive? Diagnosing the current war, stating the Gaza now at the stalemate, et cetera, et cetera. So this is just more along the lines of the paper writing that they're concerned over if it's announced by the Cohen that the red heifer has arrived, that's gonna mean they're gonna have to push all these people out and get started pretty soon on that third temple. At least that's what a lot of groups would say is going to happen. And we could take that in and take a look and see the third temple. I believe is being um, the veil of the temple, the red cows from Texas heading over there, public tours. What we got? They haven't put it back into the news yet, but I know it's under the Temple Institute. If you've taken a look at it, the idea of the third temple being built over there. And so a few different channels are going to be exploring it. There's a model for it there that you can see probably if it gets if it is announced that the red heifer is there. Uh, there's another example. What's that of an animal? Maybe probably from the second temple or whenever the other temple was destroyed. All right, so let's take a look at what Wikipedia is saying on it. The third temple refers to a hypothetical rebuilt temple in Jerusalem. It would succeed Solomon's temple and the second temple. All right, so Solomon's temple being the first temple of Solomon, and this is where they first did the red heifer ritual. The second temple, this was the temple that Jesus would have walked through. This was the temple that where they housed the mortgages. The mortgages were housed in here for the people in the land of Israel, and they had to pay taxes to Rome, and they had to pay taxes on their homes, and they had to go here to pay on their mortgages, and that's why the Maccabees and the other people that are described as zealots wanted to go in there and get those mortgages out of there, and because the taxation was too much, they wanted everyone to be debt free, and they wanted to fight against this temple system that was set up by the Pharisees and Sadducees. And when Jesus was there and he was flipping the tables on the money changers, this was a sign to Judas Iscariot, and he came from a militant branch, so he thought that maybe Jesus will be the militant that will come in here, whoop everybody, kick them out. But that was not to happen. So that was what his game plan was, and what a lot of the further events. If you want to read the book of Jasher, the book of the Maccabees, I would recommend the apocryphal works are also very good. Book of Enoch as well, if you wanted to get into investigate some of it. I shared with Canon Hotep the TV series Dig, which also explores the entire scenario of the red heifer. And so this goes into how the how the temple may be going into a rebuilding phase with the Temple Institute in present times. Here's what the Temple Institute looks like on the outside and how they're getting this ready just in case they have to establish a third temple. A third temple, which is, on the site currently occupied the Dome of the Rock, also known as the Al Aqsa. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. Mosque compound at Temple Mount Al Aqsa. My pronunciation is horrible on that. But and to reinstate the animal sacrificial worship, which this is, if you read Revelation, you'll see that in Revelation as well. The sacrifices will be brought back with the sacrifice of the holy cow the red heifer. But what they have to do with the red heifer, I wonder if they got an article on him too in here or not. The red heifer. They probably don't. I don't know. Well, maybe they do. Let's see. So this is an example of what the holy cow looks like, and the holy cow was, of course, parodied in South Park. If you'd watch South Park, or if you watched that TV series Dig, they showcased it. It equals 666 in gematria. It's a part of being ritually pure. It takes on symbolically. It's taking on the uncleanliness of the state of Israel by being the purest sacrificial animal there is. In 2,000 years, there has not been another one of these pure red heifers. That means no yoke has been on it. It hasn't done any work in the field. It does not have blemishes on it, no moles, no skin tags. It doesn't have black hair in it somewhere. It's just a red heifer. It is a ritually pure, pure animal, clean animal, and they will sacrifice it for the building of the third temple over there in Israel. So the Temple Institute is standing by with a lot of different things that they have ready. Modern technology. Let's see. The Temple Institute had initially declared both kosher, but later found it to be unsuitable. Um, the institute has been raising funds in order to use modern technology to produce a red heifer that is genetically based on the red Angus. In September, the institute announced the red heifer was born, saying the heifer is currently viable. In September, 5 were imported to the United States and transferred to Israel. According to rabbis who claim the cows are kosher for sacrifice. So they have to announce this year whether or not the rabbis and the Cohen have fully inspected one of these red heifers and deemed it the holy cow of Scripture that they could use for the sacrifice for the creation of the temple. And when we see Beyonce's red horse reminds me of the red heifer. Um, let's see what it says. Also, Vogue, the black sun symbolism there. You have the sun eclipse on April 8th. You have Passover on the 22nd. They've been saying 22 in the news 10,000 times a day, basically. Lincoln Riley was 22. Laken Riley was 22. Laken Strain was 22. Derek Chauvin was stabbed 22 times. The 20 Catch 22, the Osprey 22, um, the march between that area in Gaza that they're talking about, that's 22 miles. So all they hit you with is 22s all day. This was July 2022. So from 2022 to 2024, you've got 666 days between this image and that event going down. So we might be seeing announcement of the red heifer come the 26th or the 27th. So I'll be keeping an eye out for that, which I thought that would be an interesting topic to deep dive into real quick. That um, many of you may or may not be aware of. This is what's taking place right now, and we know that the media um, has tried to work this story in a little bit recently. They've been talking about the red heifer on the mainstream news media just recently. They have just recently, you should see this 20 days ago, 11 days ago, the unlikely role red cows play between Israel and Hamas. So it's really getting this is Yahoo's statement. I know there was one that said they smuggled them in or something like that. What is this? Devout Christians say the stage is set for the Antichrist. Oh, is it say there are at least two perfect red heifers presently that are ready for the sacrifice, but we cannot convince whether there's a war going on, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, this was 2 months ago. So we're gonna see whether or not they announced that it is indeed the red heifer of biblical times. It's gonna be pretty interesting. Appreciate you guys for coming through. I hope you enjoyed the little study. Let me see what else we got in here. Um, Dune Part 2 has a lot of eclipse scenes throughout it, said Ronan. You're right about that. The entire thing of Dune is an eclipse event, right? That song is blowing up too. What's up, Jay? Barry, good to see you. They got all the materials ready for the temple. They found cars and trucks trapped under the water now. That's terrible, Cannon. Oh man, that's so sad. prayers up for the family and the victims, and they received 5 red heifers, but I think they're down to 3 or 4. And if the stupid 19 didn't happen, they probably still wouldn't have them. Hello, everyone. Orlando, welcome in. Ryan Garcia rode the white horse and revealed a lot of corrupt. Ryan Garcia. Oh yeah, I saw that. We can't even bring up the Ryan Garcia topic. It was
It's a
horrific.
puddle.
This is canon.
They said what? What they say, Jabari? What they say, Jay? When the Euphrates dry up?
So we're waiting for to see if
What
this
they
will
say
be
when the Euphrates dry up?
fulfilling of the biblical prophecies.
What the Bible say?
As in the days of Noah is one of the things that the
It like
Bible
a creek.
says. It says the last days will be as in the days of Noah, and as in the days of Noah,
That's when everything gonna go down.
as in the days of Noah, you had
They finding like I
you
seen
had the
some videos or
giants.
pictures
So
where
I
they
don't know if
found like some underground, like some chambers. As the water recedes, they find in chambers.
that's another thing we need to get into sometime on that topic of the ancient underground civilizations. Um, Not only were they in Turkey, but they were in other world are these massive underground civilizations, and the elite have even to this day been building underground, not just the underground bunkers, but with complete tunnels and transportation systems, and it's really interesting information to take a look at. Of course, some of those projects began under Carter here in the U.S. during the COG, or Continuation of Government Program, which is also known as Project Pegasus or Operation 908. And so that was pretty information. If you want to ever deep dive into that, you'll see how they utilized Walmart and some of its networks to get some of these bases or transportation things ready.
Yeah,
Kind of been an ongoing
them red heifers without
civilization.
blemish. Now I gotta go back. I really gotta watch. Jay sent me the show. I gotta go. I gotta finish watching it.
It's called
You
Dig.
gotta see those as in the days of Noah. I'm trying to see those Nephilim. You trying to see the Nephilim?
The Cannon was being real, Cannon real reflective here today. Horrible tragedy with the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse. Uh, so we take image of it right there. There's the boat, the dolly that it hit that it hit something back in 2016 in Belgium. Hit a quay or like the side of a ship and something else, and it's got a lot of containers. And when it touched into this bridge, the bridge system just completely and utterly collapsed. And unfortunately, there was cars going across that bridge at that time, and they went straight down into the water. So hopefully, they're gonna still find a survivor. I hope that they find some survivors, and prayers up for all those involved in the families, because this is a horrible tragedy, and we don't know whether or not it was an accident or not, or if it was anything else. But hope it was just something out the blue, and we can learn from this, and we can develop some way that this will never happen again. I know this is all over the national news right now as well. A lot of people are talking about this event, but I appreciate you guys for coming through and getting into this deep dive discussion that we had today. So thank you so much. God bless you guys. Stay safe. Be well out there. Eclipse will pass through 7 cities named Nineveh. That's correct. They're the Nineveh passing through with the eclipses. It's going to be a wild event going on. I do have my solar flare glasses ready. I'm gonna watch it when it happens, the solar flare event. I mean the solar eclipse. They are saying that there could be possible solar flares though. So we'll see how that all transpires. But I appreciate you guys for coming through. God bless, stay safe, and I will speak with you again soon. Stay well.